The following edited and narrated DVD will document Aquatic Inspection's wet inspection and cleaning of Upper Skycrest Reservoir for the Lake Hemet Municipal Water District. Upper Skycrest Reservoir is a welded steel potable water storage facility located in Hemet, California. The reservoir is 32 feet tall with a diameter of 40 feet. Maximum storage capacity is 300,000 gallons. The wet inspection and cleaning took place on October 16, 2012. Upon arriving at the site, the diver inspector immediately noticed a substantial amount of broken glass. The broken glass is most likely due to vandals throwing glass bottles at the side of the reservoir. At 12 o'clock, a steel ladder guard, and safety cage are securely welded to the shell. Moderate corrosion is present in a couple of areas where welds are located. Light surface corrosion is present in many areas on the ladder guard, and safety cage. Constantine wire is present over the lowest 8 feet of the safety cage, and the ladder guard was securely padlocked at the beginning of the inspection. The facility was erected on a rock or soil foundation, and a grade ring is located around the facility. In many areas, the grade ring is covered. The common inlet-outlet line enters the reservoir near the base of the shell at 1 o'clock. The valve stem in this part of the line is securely padlocked. The majority of the line is in good condition with minimal corrosion. Water leakage is not present. Chipped or scratched paint has resulted in exposed primer and light surface corrosion in a few areas on the common line. The facility was not isolated during the inspection. A security fence is present in one area on the exterior of the facility, and it is in good condition and securely padlocked. The paint on the exterior shell is extremely chalky. The paint is in fair condition. Here's another example where the grade ring is covered or buried. Vandals throwing rocks and or bottles at the exterior of the facility have resulted in many areas of chipped or scratched paint, exposed primer, and light surface corrosion on rings number 3 and 4. Here's a close-up of a couple of areas of light surface corrosion. Patches are also present on the exterior shell in many areas. Additional corrosion is present here on ring number 3. Graffiti is not present on the exterior shell. Here are some additional patches on ring number 4. These patches are in good condition. Indications of water leakage are not present on the exterior shell. Erosion is not present at the base of the facility. The overflow line exits the reservoir near the top of ring number 1 at approximately 6 o'clock. The paint on the exterior of the line is in good to fair condition. Minimal corrosion is present on the overflow line. Light surface corrosion is present on the bolted flange located near the base of the facility. A nozzle is located on the overflow line and appears to be in good condition. The valve handle has been removed. A valve stem is securely padlocked in this area. Light surface corrosion is present on both of the bolted flanges. The overflow line is welded to the drain line. Cracked and delaminating paint has resulted in exposed primer and light surface corrosion in many areas on the drain line. The paint on the drain line is in fair to poor condition. The valve stem for the drain line is securely padlocked. Additional areas of chipped paint and light surface corrosion are present in this area on ring number 4. Many areas of light surface corrosion are present on rings 3 and 4. Delaminating paint is also present in one area on ring number 3 at 7 o'clock. A few areas of chipped paint and light surface corrosion are present on rings 1 and 2. A large area on the shell has been patched in this area, and the patched area is in good condition. Many additional broken glass bottles are present in this location. The facility has one round shell manway located at 11 o'clock. The majority of the paint on the manway is in good condition. Chipped paint, exposed primer, and light surface corrosion are present in a few areas. Here's an example of chipped paint. Corrosion is also present on the attachment hardware. Indications of water leakage are not present on the manway. A manufacturer's nameplate is secured to the shell above the manway, but it is not legible. Additional broken glass bottles are present in this area. A level sensor line enters the facility in the middle of ring number 4 next to the manway. The line is insulated but does appear to be in good condition. Indications of water leakage are not present. A hose bib on the line is securely padlocked. The access hatch located on the roof was securely padlocked at the beginning of the inspection. Light surface corrosion is present in many areas on the exterior of the hatch, and the epoxy coating on the interior of the hatch is in poor condition. The coating is losing flexibility and cracking, delaminating in many areas, resulting in light surface corrosion. Here's an example of light surface corrosion on the lip of the access hatch. Dense corrosion and metal loss is present on this ladder rung located above the water line. Metal loss appears to be taking place on the top 3 ladder rungs. Light surface corrosion was observed in many small areas on the safety railing. Light surface corrosion is also present where the level sensor telemetry line enters the facility through the roof structure. Chipped or scratched paint has resulted in light surface corrosion in a few areas on the roof structure. Rust stains are also present in a few areas. Graffiti is not located on the roof. Here's an example where rust stains are present in a couple of areas on the roof structure. Here another scratch has resulted in light surface corrosion. A couple of rocks thrown by vandals were observed on the roof structure. The paint is extremely chalky on the roof. A single vent is located in the center of the roof. A safety wire is attached to the vent and in good condition. Light surface corrosion is present in a couple of areas on the vent cap. Light to moderate corrosion is present on the interior of the vent structure. A couple small voids are present in the fine mesh screen. These voids may allow contaminants like insects to enter the facility. We would recommend addressing the voids. Here's another void. We're now going to begin our interior inspection, beginning at the base of the interior access ladder. Small corroded metal flakes and delaminated epoxy coating are located on the floor beneath the ladder. The ladder is coated with epoxy. The epoxy coating on the interior access ladder is in fair to poor condition. Coating defects have resulted in corrosion ranging from light pinhole type corrosion to dense corrosion in approximately 100 areas on the ladder. The ladder does appear to be securely welded to the shell. Corrosion is present here on both ladder rungs and rails. Corrosion is also present on the standoffs and where standoffs are welded to the vertical wall. Some of the corrosion does appear to be the result of ruptured coating blisters. Pinhole type corrosion is present in many areas on the ladder rungs and rails. Corrosion is also present where the target guide wires are attached to the target base and where the target base is welded to the floor. The target base is coated with epoxy. The guide wires are attached to the base of the target, but one guide wire has been severed approximately 2 feet from the target base. Moderate to dense corrosion is located on the interior of the level sensor sampling line. The line appears to be approximately 50% obstructed with corrosion. Corrosion is present in many areas at the base of ring number 4. The vertical walls and floor of upper Skycrest Reservoir are coated with epoxy. Corrosion nodules were visible through the sediment at the beginning of the inspection. Small pieces of corroding metal are also present in a few areas on the floor. Pinhole type corrosion is present in many areas on ring number 4. Corrosion ranging from pinhole type to moderate corrosion is present in many locations on the lowest 4 feet of ring number 4. This is where the common line enters the facility through the shell. Light surface corrosion is present in many areas on the shell around the common line. The interior of the line is coated with epoxy. The majority of the epoxy coating on the interior of the line is in fair to poor condition. Moderate to dense corrosion is present in many areas. Obstructions are not present. The facility was not isolated for the wet inspection and cleaning. Additional corrosion is present in this area on ring number 4. The condition of the epoxy coating on the shell has significantly deteriorated since our last inspection in 2008. Many areas of light to possibly moderate corrosion are present on ring number 4. Many corrosion nodules are also visible on the floor of the facility. The majority of the floor is covered with between 1/16 and 1/8 inch of sediment. The sediment consists of extremely fine silt and sand. Corroded metal flakes and delaminated epoxy coating were observed at the base of the interior access ladder. Indications of vandalism or animal intrusion are not present on the interior of the facility. Here's a close-up of a few corrosion nodules located on the floor. The diver inspector is also testing the depth and consistency of the sediment. A corrosion nodule has been removed. The diver inspector is checking for pitting or metal loss in this location. We'll further document the condition of the epoxy-coated floor after the removal of all loose sediment and debris from the interior of Upper Skycrest Reservoir. The center pole is the only support column located on the interior of the facility. The center pole and center pole base are both coated with epoxy. Moderate to dense corrosion is present in many areas on the center pole base and at the base of the center pole. The condition of the epoxy coating on the center pole ranges from good to poor. The epoxy coating on the center pole in this area is in good condition. The majority of the corrosion observed on the center pole is located near the base of the center pole and on the center pole above the water line. Caulking is present in a few areas on the center pole and appears to be in good condition. We've now reached the water line. Water clarity was rated as good. Stains are present in many areas on the shell near the water line. This is ring number 1. We've now reached the weld that connects ring number 1 with ring number 2. Aquatic Inspections conducts our interior inspections moving clockwise away from the interior access hatch. The diver inspector is now descending on a vertical weld seam on ring number 2. Coating defects have resulted in many areas of pinhole to moderate corrosion on ring number 3. This area is located at approximately 4 o'clock. We're continuing to document the condition of the epoxy coating on ring number 3. A large area of both pinhole type corrosion and light to moderate corrosion is present on the shell in this area. The diver has now reached the weld that connects ring number 3 with ring number 4. Pinhole type corrosion is present in a couple of areas on the weld. The diver inspector is continuing to move clockwise. The diver inspector is now panning down ring number 4 to the transition from vertical wall to floor. Corrosion is present in many areas at the transition from vertical wall to floor and on the lowest 4 feet of ring number 4. Thousands of areas of corrosion are present on ring number 4. The corrosion ranges from pinhole type corrosion to moderate corrosion. The condition of the epoxy coating on ring number 4 has significantly deteriorated since our inspection in 2008. Many additional areas of pinhole to moderate corrosion are present on the shell in this area as the diver inspector continues to move clockwise around the interior of the facility. The diver inspector has now reached the drain line. A few corrosion nodules are present on the floor and visible through the sediment near the drain line. The interior of the drain line is coated with epoxy. The epoxy coating is in extremely poor condition and appears to have significantly deteriorated since our last inspection in 2008. Dense corrosion is present in many areas on the interior of the drain line. Light to moderate corrosion is also present at the end of the drain line. Additional corrosion is present on the shell on ring number 4 in this area. We're continuing to move clockwise around the interior of the facility. The diver inspector is now following a weld seam on the floor. Many corrosion nodules are present on the floor in this area. We will further document the condition of the epoxy-coated floor after the removal of all loose sediment and debris. Again, the majority of the floor is covered with 1/16 inch of extremely fine sediment and sand. Accumulations up to 1/8 inch were present in a few areas before the wet cleaning. Another corrosion nodule is present on a weld. Additional corrosion is present in many areas at the base of ring number 4. Again, the areas of corrosion on the shell number in the thousands. We've now reached the area where the manway is located on the shell. The interior of the manway is coated with epoxy. The epoxy coating is in fair condition. Coating defects have resulted in corrosion ranging from light surface corrosion to dense corrosion in many areas on the interior and lip of the manway. Minimal corrosion is present on the manway door. Indications of water leakage were not detected during the exterior inspection of the manway. A slight accumulation of sediment is present on the interior of the manway and will be removed during the wet cleaning. We're continuing to move clockwise around the interior of the facility. Additional corrosion is present in many areas on ring number 4. The diver inspector is now going to ascend the vertical wall. Additional pinhole type corrosion is present on the shell in this area. We are ascending ring number 4. Additional corrosion is present in this location. We've now reached the weld that connects ring number 4 with ring number 3. Sediment or residue is adhering to the shell and welds in a few areas. The epoxy coating on the shell did break down easily with contact by the diver's gloved hand. Additional corrosion is present on the shell in this area. A couple small areas of pinhole type corrosion are present in this location. Again, the epoxy coating on the shell does appear to have significantly deteriorated since our last inspection in 2008. The diver inspector is continuing to ascend on the vertical wall. We're following a vertical weld seam. A cluster of coating defects are located on the shell in this area near the weld that connects ring number 3 with ring number 2. This corrosion is located on ring number 2 at approximately 11 o'clock. The corrosion in this location ranges from pinhole type corrosion to moderate corrosion and numbers in the thousands. A few areas of moderate corrosion are present on ring number 2 in this area. Many additional areas of pinhole type corrosion and light surface corrosion are also present in this location on ring number 2 at approximately 11 o'clock. Diver inspector is now approaching the weld that connects ring number 2 with ring number 1, and pinhole and light surface corrosion are also present in a couple of areas on ring number 1 in this location. Ring number 1 is lightly stained near the waterline. Rust stains are present in a few areas on the shell underneath rafter clips. Bugs and other debris were observed floating on the waterline. We would recommend periodically overflowing the facility to help remove all floating debris. We're now going to document the removal of all loose sediment and debris from the floor. In a few areas near the interior access ladder, what appears to be welding slag is corroding in place to the epoxy coated floor. Coating defects are present in many areas on the epoxy coated floor. All the loose sediment and debris has been removed from the floor in front of the common line. Here a couple of corrosion nodules are located on the floor. The diver inspector is going to investigate this area. The diver has removed the corrosion nodule to check for any pitting or metal loss. Moderate metal loss is taking place in this location. The epoxy coating on the floor is slightly chalky and would break down with contact by the diver's gloved hand. Coating defects have resulted in corrosion ranging from pinhole type corrosion to moderate corrosion in thousands of areas on the floor. All the loose sediment and debris has been removed from this area. Again, indications of vandalism or animal intrusion are not present on the interior of Upper Skycrest Reservoir. Here's a close-up of some additional areas of corrosion. The corrosion ranges from pinhole type to light surface corrosion in this area. Many small corrosion nodules are present. It does appear that the condition of the epoxy coating on the interior of the facility has significantly deteriorated since our last inspection. Aquatic Inspections would recommend that funds be allocated for recoating the interior of Upper Skycrest Reservoir in the near future. Scratches are present on the epoxy-coated floor in this area. Moderate metal loss is once again present where a medium-sized corrosion nodule was located. If the facility cannot be recoated in the near future, Aquatic Inspections would recommend addressing the corrosion on the floor. Should corrosion consume a hole in the floor, it would result in an uncontrollable leak. Many additional areas of pinhole to light surface corrosion are present on the floor in this area. A few areas of moderate corrosion are also present. The loose sediment and debris has been removed from around the center pole. Continuing to document the corrosion located on the epoxy-coated floor. In this area, it does appear to the diver that scratches are present in the epoxy-coated floor. The epoxy coating floor is also chalky and would break down easily by contact with the diver's gloved hand. All the loose sediment and debris has been removed from the floor around the drain line. Additional corrosion and what appear to the diver to be scratches in the epoxy coating are present on the floor in this area. All loose sediment and debris has been removed from the interior of the manway and from the floor in front of the manway. The loose sediment and debris has also been removed from around the base of the target. Here's another example where metal loss is taking place on the floor. In this location, the corrosion nodule was removed. Slight metal loss is taking place in this area. It should be noted that in all of the areas on the floor where the diver removed corrosion nodules, slight to moderate metal loss is taking place. Metal loss is also taking place on the top 3 ladder rung rails. The roof structure on the interior of Upper Skycrest Reservoir is coated with epoxy. Light surface corrosion is present in this area where the level sensor telemetry probes enter the facility. In a couple of areas, the epoxy coating appears to be scorched where welding took place on the exterior of the facility. Light surface corrosion is present in this area on the edge of a rafter and on a roof plate. Light surface corrosion is also present on tie rods. Moderate corrosion and slight metal loss appears to be taking place on this tie rod. Additional light surface corrosion is present in this area on the edge of a rafter. All rafters do appear to be securely bolted to rafter clips. Rust stains are present on the roof structure in a few areas. Here are some additional examples of light surface corrosion. Metal loss is taking place on this tie rod. Light surface corrosion is present in many areas on rafters. Moderate corrosion is present on rafters in a few areas. Light surface corrosion is present on the center pole above the waterline. The hat plate is coated with epoxy. Concentrated areas of light surface corrosion are present on rafters near the hat plate. The coating on the hat plate appears to be losing flexibility, cracking and delaminating in a few areas where rafters are bolted to the hat plate. Moderate to possibly dense corrosion and metal loss is taking place in a few areas on the hat plate. Light surface corrosion is also present on the attachment hardware. Moderate corrosion is taking place on a rafter in this area. Slight metal loss appears to be taking place. Additional areas of light surface corrosion are present on rafters and on roof plates in this area. Rust stains are present in a few areas at the top of the vertical wall. Light surface corrosion is also present at the top of the vertical wall around the overflow line. The overflow line is coated with epoxy. The majority of the epoxy coating does appear to be in good condition. Light surface corrosion is present in a few areas. The facility was filled to spill for the inspection and white cleaning and was not isolated. Additional corrosion is present here on a rafter clip and attachment hardware. This concludes Aquatic Inspection's Wet Inspection and Cleaning Report for Upper Skycrest Reservoir. We would like to thank the Lake Hemet Municipal Water District for retaining our services. If you have any questions about the wet inspection or cleaning, please don't hesitate to contact us at 760-753-4812, or you can email us at roberts@aquaticinspections.com.